like football here in Champaign, Illinois at Memorial Stadium. It's the Nittany Lions of Penn State taking on the Fighting Illini. I'm Bob Wischusen here with Matt Millen. Quinn Kesnick will join us in just a moment. And Matt, it's always a treat to see a great talent at quarterback. The numbers from last year to this year for Christian Hackenburg, they've dropped significantly, but we spent a lot of time watching him on film. And your basic take seemed to be, don't let the numbers fool you. The talent is there with Penn State sophomore.
Yeah, and I'm not the only one who thinks like that. You talk to any pro football scouts, and they talk about this kid and have the highest regard for him. And he's going to have some help today. Keep in mind, those numbers are there for a reason. And he's got a lot of guys banged up. But today, he's going to get his offensive line back. It'll be the one that they had hoped it would have been from the start of the season. And also, he also needs to have those young receivers learn how to separate downfield. And we'll track that today, but this kid's got a big-time talent.
Well, Penn State won the toss and deferred their option to the second half, so it'll be Illinois to start with the football. And you saw Viangelo Bentley, a very dangerous return man, back deep, as Sam Ficken will send it deep. Viangelo Bentley, the first player in Illinois history with a touchdown via kick return, punt return, interception return, and fumble return. So he knows how to score. Here, he doesn't even know how to get back to the 10-yard line. So Illinois is pinned deep. And Wes Lunt, the sophomore Oklahoma State transfer at quarterback, he has had some type of injury roller coaster throughout his entire career. From high school, through in and out of the lineup as a freshman at Oklahoma State, in and out of the lineup in his sophomore transfer season here at Illinois.
He has great arm talent. This kid can throw the ball. Both these quarterbacks, it's windy down on the field. Both these quarterbacks, their ball will cut through this wind.
And Wes Lunt starts in the air, and a safe pass out to the edge that is good for a first down to Malik Turner. Let's take a look at our impact players when Illinois has the football.
Well, normally you don't really talk about a freshman, but Mike Dudek is a guy he's dynamic. He has an ability to make plays down the field. He can catch it short and deep. Anthony Zettel is a kid inside for Penn State. He's the motor that makes his defense run.
Donovan Young on the run here for about 3 yards to the 21-yard line, brought down by Jordan Lucas.
Anthony Zettel, he is the guy on this defense. Even when he doesn't make the tackle, he makes the play. Like on that last particular play, his penetration was the difference in the play.
Illinois wants to run a play about every 15 seconds. So they practice going as quickly as possible and as quickly as possible. Down to the turf goes Wes Lunt. There's Zettel, as 7th sack of the season.
Zettel on one side, Barnes off the other. Alanian also. Watch this right inside. This guy, his first 2 steps, they better give them help inside, or that will be a problem all game long. That's not good inside. That's Alex Hill, number 52. He went past him like he was standing still.
So 3rd down and 15. Only a 3-man rush for Penn State. And that forces Lunt into a check down intended for Mike Dudek. So after picking up a first down, Illinois got it out to about their own 20-yard line, but they'll be forced to kick it back to Penn State. So we'll see Hackenburg for the first time, most likely with very good field position.
And Shoes, that's exactly what Illinois couldn't afford. They need to string together first downs. Even if they don't get a score, they need to play the field position game, and they need some confidence. Because right now, this is a beat-down group.
Justin Duvernois, number 2 in the Big Ten, averaging about 45 yards per kick. We'll try and change field position if he can, and this will take an Illinois hop at midfield and get touched at about the 48-yard line. So as we said, we expected good field position for Christian Hackenburg, and that's exactly what he has. Now, 7 touchdowns against 14 interceptions. If you're just looking at the stat sheet, those would be alarming numbers for a player that last year had about a 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. It's flipped back in the opposite direction this year, but today, as you said, Miles Diefenbach, Donovan Smith back on the offensive line. That should make a big difference.
Yeah, and that's going to be the biggest thing, is this offensive line back together. And they've got to be able to establish the run game here early.
They'll run it on first down with Bill Belton, and he won't get much.
We talk about Hackenburg, and you know, we go in and we look at it differently, Shoes. And so we'll go in and we'll put the tape on, and you'll start looking at, okay, look at his physical attributes. They're phenomenal. Look at his ability to be able to run, make the throws, all those things. And then you start looking at around him, supporting cast. And he's had some problems in that interior line and also with his receivers down the field, not separating down the field. That's a problem.
Here comes the blitz. The check down works to perfection. Belton out on the edge, and it looks like he's got a first down. He'll be a yard short. Stepped out, setting up 3rd and 1 as we take a look at our impact players. And Miles Diefenbach at left guard. Not normally would a left guard be the impact player, but that matchup jumped out at you.
Well, and it's because of what he brings. Not only does he bring a solidification of the offensive line, but he also brings leadership skills and an ability to be able to communicate. And then on the other side, I'll tell you, T.J. Neal, number 52, that kid, they don't even know how good this kid's going to be. He's got some very good instincts.
They'll run Wildcat with Akeel Lynch on 3rd down and 1, and it looks as if he has the first down.
Penn State offense, the Penn State offense really, they've been kind of learning themselves as the season's gone on. This offensive line has been all over the place. It's been a patchwork. And then you know, you have a head coach and a new staff learning the offense. You have the kids learning the coaching staff. It takes time.
Akeel Lynch up the middle, and he's got a first down. 11 more yards for Akeel Lynch. Taylor Barton and Eaton Spence eventually brought him down.
Well, this whole thing is just all up front, and it's just what they're hoping to be able to get. Nice blocking down the field by this offensive line on that right side. And then Akeel Lynch is a big man. He's a guy who he's a one-cut guy. Once he sees it, he can be decisive. That's a big body coming downhill.
He had 130 yards rushing, a career high last week in the win over Temple. They'll try Akeel Lynch again. 5-yard gain on first down. Opening possession in the first quarter for Penn State, Adnan. And they're in business as Hackenburg on the slant. A low throw that's scooped up by Deshaun Hamilton, but that's good enough for another Nittany Lion first down.
And so when Penn State is going to get this type of first down running, first and second down running, and you're getting into 3rd and manageable or 2nd and short, that's when James Franklin feels like he's ahead of the chains, and that's his advantage. And that's when he can dictate the game calling.
3 years at Vanderbilt for James Franklin before getting the Penn State job. And in his last 2 years at Vandy, 9-4, both years concluding with bowl wins. That's the first time that ever happened for Vanderbilt football. No gain on first down for Belton. Taylor Barton, who's the 3rd leading tackler for the Illini, came up to make the stop. 2nd down and 10 in the red zone.
Yeah, Taylor Barton is best when he's down around the line of scrimmage. And he's a solid tackler. He has pretty good instincts, but what I like about him is he takes good angles. And so when he's most effective, you'll hear him called a lot, his name called a lot in the run game.
Eighth play of the drive for Penn State. Draw play. Trying to turn the corner is Belton. Can't do it. Well diagnosed by Barton. Maybe a half-yard gain. Now it's 3rd down and long.
Yeah, they came with a blitz, took away the inside, which is where Belton wanted to be able to get to. You see the pressure coming up inside, so he has to abandon and get to the edge. He's able to get the edge, but Barton does a nice job of cleaning it up.
3rd down and 9. And vital for Illinois to play well defensively in the red zone. They are not a high-powered offensive team. Neither is Penn State. It should be a low-scoring game, which makes red zone possessions that much more vital. Long throw to the end zone for Hackenburg, and he's got A hookup with Godwin, who lost the ball on his way down, but they say it's a touchdown. Chris Godwin, the true freshman, catches a perfectly thrown ball by Christian Hackenburg. And Penn State strikes first.
And so Tim Banks, the defensive coordinator for Illinois, he opts to go with a blitz. There's the catch.
The ball pops out.
The ball pops out at the end. Let's see if he had control. Once they kick this, it's over.
Will they review?
No.
That's down the middle on the point after for Sam Ficken.
That shot, I couldn't tell if he had control of the football. But they came with a blitz inside, and they went man-to-man all the way around, and Godwin got on top, and he has good speed, and they took advantage of it.
He has to complete the process of the catch, and according to the officials, he did just that. And it looks like a good call from that angle. 7-0 Penn State. Christian Hackenburg with his 8th touchdown pass of the season, and Penn State takes wonderful field position and turns it into 7. They've got the early lead over the Illini. Bob Wischusen, Matt Millen, Quint Kesnick here in Champaign. And if you missed the touchdown, video is now posted on the SportsCenter app, available on your mobile devices and tablets whenever you're in need.
That's a nice read by Hackenburg, knowing what he had. He recognized that he had pressure up front, and he was going to have man-to-man down the field, and he liked his matchup with the freshman Godwin against the safety.
The first touchdown reception of Chris Godwin's Penn State career. And let's go back and see why that route combination created the space that Godwin needed.
Okay, couple things. Nice protection inside. You're going to need the back to do it also. That's the first thing. Second thing is he sees what he has down the field, and he sees it's man-to-man. So now he knows the route combination. He's going to take this and move this here. He's going to hold this here. This is what he wants to throw to. The key then becomes Godwin right here. He has to beat that guy and get on top. It's against the safety, and he has the time, and the throw's perfect.
At the 25-yard line now, it's Illinois. Second possession starts off the way the first possession suffered. No gain on first down for Young. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
When you start running to the inside, you're talking about Zettel, but the other half of that duo is right there, Anthony Johnson. That kid's just a sophomore, 315 pounds. That kid's a beast. He will be an All-American before he's out of here.
We'll be saying that all day. That kid's just a sophomore. That kid's just a freshman.
You're right.
That guy's a redshirt freshman. When you talk about Penn State, it is amazing how young the roster is. Of course, all of that goes back to the tragedy of the Jerry Sandusky drama at Penn State. And our first opportunity to check in with Quinn.
Bob, this Illinois offensive line so far struggling mightily, playing without 2 starters today late in the season, Simon Sivjanovic and Ted Karras. And Karras is their top guy. He's a tone setter for this group. They've moved Joe Spencer from guard to center. We'll keep an eye on 71 in orange. He's got short arms, but a lot of moving parts. A unit right now defined by inexperience, being held together by duct tape, facing a very good Penn State front.
It's been that way all season up front, hasn't it, for Illinois?
Yeah, it really has. And here's a key right now for Penn State. Look at this. They're going to give you pressure with 3. Last time they did get pressure, that means they're dropping 8. It's going to be tough for Lunt to throw into.
Strong throw to the sideline by Lunt.
Good throw.
About a yard shy of the first down. John Davis, the tight end, got to the sideline. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
And so what Shoup does, he ends up bringing a blitz out of it. They bring Hull on the outside, and it's man-to-man, and the coverage is right there. Excellent coverage, and forces his 4th down.
Pardon me, 4th down. So rather than take a chance inside their own 35-yard line.
This is a spot right here, Shoes. Now, it's probably too early, and you'd give up field position, but in a game like this, this is where you'd see fake field goals and that type of thing. Penn State will have to be aware of that.
So Duvernois to punt for the 2nd time. A line drive kick fielded on the run by Della Valle, and great field position again for Penn State. Close to the 50-yard line for Christian Hackenburg when we return. Senior day here for the Fighting Illini, and there's Ernest Thomas. He's had an outstanding senior season at the star linebacker position for the Illini. You also saw Michael Height, Zane Petty, Austin Teitzma, and a day that makes college football that much more special. than sometimes what you see in the pro ranks. The NFL is the highest level of competition. It's a wonderful league, but there are things about college football that really make it special, and senior day is at the top of the list. Hackenburg hands off to Belton, and he's dragged down right at the line of scrimmage by Jihad Ward.
Jihad Ward, he's got lots of talent. He hasn't quite figured out. He's a junior college transfer. He's from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Playing right defensive end. They play him on the left side as well. But he's got nice long arms. He's strong. He's a smart guy. He's going to be a good player. He's not quite there yet.
Play action. Hackenburg has room to run, and instead he tries to get it to Kyle Carter, but Carter can't handle it on the dive. Now it's 3rd down and long. Hackenburg had a lot of room off the bootleg if he just tucked it under.
Yeah, well, you trust your arm first, and that's what it's designed for, and this should be a catch. He threw it out a little out in front of him, but Carter got to go get that ball.
So a chance for the Illinois defense to shut down the Penn State terrific field position. Hackenburg got the ball just about right here. First possession for Penn State, went down and scored a touchdown. 4-man rush for Illinois. Hackenburg well protected, but miscommunication with his receivers. No one was home at the 40-yard line, so it is 3 downs and out for Penn State.
Yeah, there's a miscommunication there. That he threw it to nothing. He's going to try to hit his tight end coming down, and he'll end up being down outside here. And that's outstanding coverage. That's great coverage right there. I didn't see the number. I think it was Ernest Thomas. I wasn't sure.
Darius Mosley back to receive the punt. It is a fake, and this works to perfection for Penn State. Brad Barrs, 5th-year defensive end, rumbles 32 yards, and Penn State with a trick play on special teams.
I want you to watch number 28, Troy Apke. What a fantastic job he does on the outside. The fake is there all the way, but Apke's block gives them all the room for that run. Barrs looked like they timed it with a what do you call those things? Sundial.
Akeel Lynch right up the middle, down to the 5-yard line, and slightly inside for a gain of 6 on 1st down. Taylor Barton made the stop.
It's a nice job by the right side of that Penn State offensive line right there. It's just been power. And you have Mangiero inside there, and Guy at number 72, and Andrew Nelson, just a redshirt freshman. They are establishing the line of scrimmage right now. They're moving it.
Penn State already with 101 yards of total offense to only 15 for Illinois. Another handoff, and met at the 5-yard line was Akeel Lynch. TJ Neal, who jumped out to you on tape as maybe the most active defensive player that Illinois has.
Yeah, TJ Neal, he's a Pennsylvania kid, but he is number 52 right there on your screen. He has excellent, he sees things very well. He's got excellent instincts. He runs extremely well. He has, when I watch him, he has some Mike Singletary in him. He's not a guy who can stand alone. He needs to be covered a little bit, but he's a very good player.
Big play here for the Illinois defense to try and get a stop on 3rd down. Hackenburg hands it once again to Lynch, and they get that stop. Now what does Penn State do? Rob Bain tripped up Lynch at about the 2.5-yard line. So it's 4th down and at least 1.5 yards.
He'll take the point.
And it looks like it will be a field goal for James Franklin. That'll be the decision. It'll be a chip shot for Sam Ficken, but a good stop after the fake punt in the red zone for Illinois. Defensively, they easily could have fallen behind by 14. Is it another fake, or was it a fumbled snap? Chris Gullah, the punter, may have bobbled as he tried to get a clean placement down for Sam Ficken. And talk about a huge dodged bullet for Illinois. Penn State comes away empty.
That's a great job of keeping them to no points.
That's a break for Illinois. As Gullah he couldn't handle the snap.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Champaign as Illinois has the football, down 7-0. The Illini at 4-6 with only one win so far this year in the Big Ten, and unfortunately that has been the story with Tim Beckman as the head coach. In his third year, 10-24 overall, but even more damning, 2-20 in Big Ten play. No wins year one win last year, one win so far in the conference this year. Here's Wes Lunt to throw down the sideline, wide open was Matt Lacoste, the tight end, and Lunt couldn't drop it in, so a missed chance for a big play for Illinois sets up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, you're going to have Lacoste. He's going to get on the top side of Lucas. But the ball just took off on Lunt, and that was an opportunity that they had to take advantage of.
Seemed like the wind at Lunt's back hurt him there. This time he shoots one up the seam, and he threw it behind Dudek. So it's now 3rd down and 10.
Jason Cabinda, just a freshman, getting a start here today. He actually played that pretty well. That had an opportunity, but Cabinda did a nice job of dropping in coverage and getting in front of the receiver.
Here comes the Penn State blitz. And Lunt throws it way over the head of Matt Lacoste, who I guess he thought was going on a go route down the sideline, but Lacoste broke his route off. So it's another miscommunication. And a 3-and-out for Illinois as they waste good field position with the wind at their back.
And he had time. They picked up the blitz. He had time. He could have been a little more judicious. The coverage was there. Jordan Lucas, the corner, had good coverage on Lacoste.
So Duvernois with some wind helping him out. And you can see the difference in the result. This will hop into the end zone. Could have easily taken a hop out of bounds. So a bad break for Illinois. Penn State with the ball back when we return. Bob Wischusen, Matt Millen, Quinn Kesnick back here in Champaign. Tim Beckman trying to fire up his defense, but he may have bypassed an opportunity a moment ago at 2-20 in the Big Ten in his career here at Illinois. Surprised he didn't go for it on 4th down?
I was. Especially, you know, as a head coach, you have to read your team. And right now, his defense is playing probably the best I've seen them play. They have completely handled this Penn State offense. So take a chance right there. You have a little bit of momentum. Keep it going. Try to get that first and then trust your defense. They didn't do that.
Well, maybe he's thinking his defense could change the game if you are able to get a punt inside the 10-yard line, except Duvernois sailed it into the end zone. Only 3 yards on 1st down here for Chipiali as we go down to Quinn.
Yeah, Bob, for this Illinois team looking for a spark, I mean, I would have gone for it. You think about Mikey Dudek in the slot off a pick or a rub. Lunt's pretty accurate, you know, run some kind of option route. And this is a team that needs a spark. You know, they need to win this game and beat Northwestern next week to be bowl eligible. What are you protecting? What are you guarding? Why are you being conservative?
Chipiali up the middle, and it'll be 3rd down again. 3rd down and 5 coming as we go under 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the 1st half.
They are ready to Monheim right in the middle of that thing, but they are running a lot of stunts inside, and it's twists, and they're making Penn State have to. They're not able to come off the ball and just kind of power them. So you're having to read a lot of zone reads inside.
There's Bill Belton over on the sideline. He doesn't have his helmet on, and it looks like Akil Lynch is to his right behind the down and distance marker. So it's Cole Chipiali in at tailback. Hackenburg on 3rd down. Standing like a statue, and that ball incomplete. Threw it high and wide of Jesse James. So in spite of the penalty hurting Illinois, they do get the stop, and they're about to get the football back with plenty of time before halftime.
Which is exactly why I would have gone for it on 4th down. Their defense is playing very well right now. There's protection. That ball wasn't as accurate as it should. You know, if you put a torch in his hand, he may have looked like the Statue of Liberty right there.
Hackenburg was barely moving when he threw the ball as well. When you see the mechanics of Hackenburg, is he polished enough to win at the big-time level?
Yes, he's not consistent enough, however.
Another knuckleball into the wind, takes a slow Penn State roll to the 32-yard line of Illinois. So only a 30-yard punt by Pasquarello, but into the wind. That's what we've seen from both punters. The wind has been a big factor on special teams. And just like that, Illinois has the ball back. With the wind at their back, can they get something going before halftime?
Well, the story here has been both defenses. And Penn State's defense has played very well, as had Illinois'. Illinois' defensive front, excellent.
And now Riley O'Toole is in at quarterback. We were told by Bill Cubitt, the offensive coordinator, and Tim Beckman that there were packages for Aaron Bailey, possibly on third down, and we expected to see Riley O'Toole in short yardage and goal line, but he's in here now to start this possession in place of Wes Lunt.
They need a spark.
O'Toole, quarterback draw. He's obviously much more of a dual threat. They don't want Wes Lunt, with his injury history, to run the ball at all. Mike Hull makes the tackle, and we'll see if Lunt comes back in. Looks like they're going to stick with Riley O'Toole.
They've got to find something right here that they can hang their hat on. You only got 2.5 minutes to go. Let O'Toole give it a whirl. He can throw the ball pretty well, more mobile than Lunt.
There he goes again. Maybe a yard. Jason Kabinda, true freshman outside linebacker, made the stop. So now it's 3rd down and 5.
Penn State has been able to just, here they come, 4 again.
Riley O'Toole will take off and run. And now Illinois is 0 for 7 on 3rd down.
Now
they'll go 3 and out, and they'll have to kick it away.
Yeah, here you have to punt it. You don't want to give them a chance to be able to get points.
Penn State calls their 2nd timeout.
The one thing I'd like to see out of Penn State, which I haven't seen on tape either, is go to a little bit more hurry-up offense and speed things up. It seems like Hackenburg is more comfortable that way.
James Franklin saves his team some time by calling timeout, so we'll step aside for 30 seconds. Christian Hackenburg getting set to take the field once again after his defense gets a 3 and out. Justin Duvournois to punt once again for the Illini with the wind at his back. Jesse Delavalle is back deep to receive. 1 timeout left for Penn State.
That's a flag on Penn State, and that's going to be a 1st down.
It's 4th down and a little less than 5. And this penalty will either force Penn State to put their defense right back on the field, and it looks like that might be what the call is.
Yeah, he moved.
This is like a turnover and a giveaway by Penn State if it's against them.
Offsides. Defense, number 84. 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw him jump from here. He jumped the count. Watch it right in here. There it is.
1st down, Illinois at their own 43-yard line.
Looked like Zettel, so a bad mistake for James Franklin's team. It's Riley O'Toole still in at quarterback for Illinois. A free 1st down for the Illini. Right up the middle. It's Donovan Young spinning close to midfield, a gain of 6. Illinois still with 2 timeouts and the wind at their back, and Riley O'Toole has them set to go quickly. A little read option. Donovan Young again. Very close, and maybe good enough for an Illinois 1st down. It is.
Well blocked on the inside.
O'Toole, Dudek is able to adjust and haul in a pass at the 36-yard line after he had slipped and fallen.
Short of the 1st. That's great job of Dudek of being able to come back with that catch.
2nd down and short. O'Toole to the sideline. Who's got it again? It's Mikey Dudek.
It's freshman on freshman over there. Dudek is working on Marcus Allen all game long. Dudek's, he's legit. And so is Marcus Allen. That's a good job of O'Toole getting the ball out. And Dudek coming back to pick up the first.
Dudek already has broken the freshman receiving record of Aurelius Ben at Illinois, as he is now over 800 yards on the year.
Come with a cross dog on the inside. One this way, one over the top.
O'Toole saw it.
Now they got out of it. Nope.
They'll rush only 4. O'Toole, long throw down the sideline, incomplete. There was some room there for the tight end, Matt Lacoste. You wonder if the wind caught that ball and helped it float out of bounds.
They had it well defended, though. Marcus Allen was able to come over the top of that. Lucas was sitting back underneath it. They went with 4. They showed the blitz. They got out of it. Then they sat in a zone. There was an opportunity there.
Blitz coming. O'Toole, high throw right over the middle. And inside the 10-yard line, it's 1st and goal as Dudek makes another catch, working on Marcus Allen. And now quickly they'll go 1st and goal. Out of bounds. No chance for Geronimo Allison to make a play on that ball. It'll be 2nd down and goal. Illinois still with 2 timeouts, so they have the full playbook at their disposal. They could run it here if they choose.
Chris O'Connor is on the inside, matched up against Zettel.
Penn State again shows blitz. Dudek at the 5, reaches for the pylon. It doesn't look like he got in.
This has been all Dudek. And he's got great quickness. He knows how to get open, and they know that he does it. They've fed him the whole time on this drive. Penn State needs to get somebody and get their hands on Dudek at the line of scrimmage.
You wonder if this is 4-down territory for Illinois. It's 3rd down and goal at the 1. Play action for Riley O'Toole. Flips it into the end zone, and it's there for the touchdown. Matt Lacoste, the tight end, was able to float under it and catch it for the score. And we are on the verge of possibly a halftime tie.
And so Dudek moved the chains, but the difference maker in this offense has been O'Toole. He's been the difference. He brought something that Lund just didn't have. And whether it was his feet or his ability just to find the open guy, he's been able to do that.
Well, the run game is an added weapon for O'Toole that Lunt, for the most part, doesn't have. Normally, it's been Lunt's job. When healthy, Riley O'Toole has replaced him when Lunt has been injured. But now Riley O'Toole engineers a 12-play touchdown drive. We are tied at 7. Let's go down to Quint.
Coach, what was the single key development in that first half?
Well, you know, obviously the first drive we went down, did some good things. Then we kept hurting ourselves with missed assignments and missed throws. So we got to do a better job there on offense.
Yeah, what needs to be fixed offensively?
We got to be able to establish the running game. We did a great job the first drive, and from there we started making mistakes. Jumping off sides on 4th and 4 was a huge play there at the end.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Q, thanks very much. Our halftime score, Penn State and Illinois tied at 7. A huge factor for Illinois. Mike Dudek, the true freshman, helped put them in position to get the equalizer before halftime. It's our Dave and Buster's halftime report. Back to Adnan. It's been rare for jubilance on the sideline for Illinois, but they had it just before halftime. It's kind of an old-fashioned Big Ten football game. Tied at 7, started the 3rd quarter. Bob Wischusen, Matt Millen, Quinn Kesnick here in Champaign. We've seen 3 different quarterbacks in the first half. 1 for Penn State, Christian Hackenburg. 2 now for Illinois, and Riley O'Toole. He got 1 drive, and arguably it was the most successful possession of all of the 3 quarterbacks engineered in the first half.
No, actually, I disagree with you. I'd say there's 4 quarterbacks that we've seen in the first half. We saw Christian Hackenburg to start the series, to start the game, and then since that series, he's been a different guy. And so the question is, why? And part of it is pressure, part of it's frustration. He started off, had time, made the throws to the open receivers. Since then, he's had time, but it has just not happened for him. He's felt pressure. This was completely on him. He needed to stay inside. And then he's thrown the ball not very well. And so right now, Christian Hackenburg, it looks like he's frustrated, but he needs to be patient. He needs to stay inside, take what's given, and then the rest is going to be on his receivers and offensive line. We saw in the first half his receivers didn't really separate that well. But look, when you have that kind of skill set, you've got to make it work.
Well, the skill set of Riley O'Toole we expected to see at some point. We were told goal line, short yardage, where the quarterback run game would come into play, that he would have a package of plays and get in the game for Illinois. We didn't expect it would be, I guess, based on Blunt's ineffectiveness, a straight quarterback change possibly for Tim Beckman, but it looks like that's what we have for Illinois.
Well, what you have is a guy who came in and provided something that wasn't there. And so he gave him a spark. And you can see, look at the bottom of the drives. One, he was able to take that one opportunity. He's 5 of 7, takes him down on the back of Mike Dudek. And that's what they have, and that's what they're using. It's smart football from that standpoint. And Riley O'Toole's gotten it done. Wes Lutton hasn't been able to.
So Penn State deferred their option to start the game. They'll get the ball here in the third quarter, and they will have the wind at their back in the third quarter. So if Illinois can just hang in there, even just keep this game tied at 7 to head to the fourth, once they get the wind back on their side, Riley O'Toole played very, very well. Not the strong-arm quarterback that Wes Lunt can be, but with the wind at his back, he and Dudek became a very effective combination. And look at the wind beat this kickoff up. It lands.
That's live.
At the 20-yard line. It's a loose ball. That's an unintentional onside kick. Wind aided for Illinois. Do they have it at the bottom of the pile? The ball looked like it was filled with helium when it went up in the air. And Illinois has it. What a break for the Illini.
And field position. Yeah, so it's just a short kick. The up front group, it should form what we used to call the wedge, had no awareness of it. And when there's a short kick like that, you've got to go get it. You cannot let it, because it's a free ball.
That's unintentional from Taylor Zaleski, the kickoff man for Illinois. He was trying to kick that as far as he could and get it near the end zone, but boy, that looked like a golf ball wedge shot as it sailed up in the air and then backspinned out close to the 30-yard line, and Illinois gets the recovery, and it is Riley O'Toole at quarterback. What an opportunity for the Illini. There's Dudek. A gain of 6.
Okay, so Mike Dudek, whenever you have something like this and they're so one-dimensional and they're going to Dudek, what you have to do is take that dimension away. Make them play left-handed. So you've got to get somebody on Dudek, and you got to match that. And you got to eliminate him and make him go someplace else.
Right up the middle for a first down goes Donovan Young, and Quinn Kesnick down on the sideline. Q, you had a chance to talk to Tim Beckman at the end of halftime?
Yeah, and Bill Cubit, offensive coordinator, both said that Riley O'Toole's a better fit right now for the way this game is being played. He offers the ability to run as a quarterback. He knows the offense better. He can play at a faster pace. You see as Illinois is trying to go up tempo. I asked Coach Cubit, I said, well, how come Mikey Dudek all of a sudden was a factor late in that second quarter? He says, he was getting open all game. West just couldn't find him. Riley O'Toole did, and all of a sudden the Illini are moving the ball.
Quick slant, tipped, and still finds its way to Geronimo Allison, the junior from Tampa. You want to talk about growing up in a tough neighborhood? The Illinois coaching staff goes to recruit Geronimo Allison at his home. They're going into the house, and Geronimo Allison's uncle's sitting on the porch. They say to his uncle, do you want to come inside and be a part of this? His uncle says, no, I'm going to stay here and watch your cars and make sure everything's okay. Donovan Young bounces it outside. Nowhere to go. A gain of maybe a yard. Now a big third down coming up at about the 13-yard line.
That's actually Wortman. That's a very good play by Wortman. He was able to hold that outside and force him going sideways to set up this third down. Because had he gotten that edge, he had a chance to score. Okay, so now it's third down. The guy you have to take out of it is going to be Dudek. So what they'll do is they'll counter and they'll keep him off so you can't get your hands on him. And then they'll run things that forces you to back off as a defense.
The only third down conversion for Illinois. 1 for 8 in the first half, but the one was the touchdown. O'Toole, a straight drop back. Swings one in the flat. Donovan Young leaps over a man, but then pays the price at the 9. Now what do? You're going right into the wind. So this seems like it would be a chip shot field goal, and it looks like they're going to send the field goal unit out. But this field goal unit has been inconsistent, to say the least. Q, how about this decision to kick it into the wind?
This is a tough kick, as you saw that kickoff to start this third quarter. Kicking into the wind, the ball should be pushed in the Illinois sideline direction towards you, Bob, upstairs to the near side of the field.
That's Dudek right there, who can actually throw the ball.
Only a 28-yard attempt. David Reisner puts it up and puts it through. That's only his second made field goal of the season. His long before that kick was a 19-yarder. That's a big one for Illinois. And this game just got more interesting as the Illini now have the lead. 10-7 early in the third quarter. And now a much more aware return group for Penn State as the ball gets caught up in the wind again. Grant Haley, much better adjustment this time and a pretty good return after the 32-yard line. Play action for Hackenburg. Buys time on the rollout, and it's underneath. The tight end, Mike Gesicki, bumped out of bounds at the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 7.
Okay, so if you look at the concept of what they're trying to do, and I understand, get Hack out on the edge. He can throw the ball well on the run. But if you look down the field, you're limiting yourself. You're limiting yourself into the sideline. Right now, I think they just need to try to find some kind of a rhythm.
Akil Lynch comes up short of the first down. So now what does John Donovan call on 3rd down and 1? Well, normally, if you look at the numbers, the way Penn State's ran the ball the past couple of weeks and the way Illinois statistically this year has failed to stop the run, you just say plow right up the middle and pick up the first down, but they haven't been able to do that today.
Not today. Titesmith, 44 on the inside, has played himself a very good game. We haven't really said much about him, but he's been one of those guys that's just been money inside.
And they'll go Wildcat with Akil Lynch to try to create a numbers game on 3rd down. And Lynch met, but gets the first down. Clayton Fagellum was there first for Illinois, but he had already picked up the yard before Fagellum was able to make any contact.
Okay, I want you to watch after the ball, after he has the fake, look at his eyes, he's up. Now he kind of, right there, all he's doing is hesitating and he's looking for the hole. And he has his option inside depending on what happens. And that time he does a nice job. Donovan Smith clears that edge and he's able to get the first.
Akil Lynch grew up in Toronto and then came just across the border to suburban Buffalo to go to high school. A reverse. Geno Lewis takes off and picks up a yard.
Missed
Looked like
opportunity.
he wanted to throw it downfield, but pulled it down when he didn't feel as if he could get it deep to Deshaun Hamilton.
Deshaun Hamilton was deep, but here's the other thing. This was a missed opportunity by Christian Hackenburg as well, because if Hack makes a block, they're going to start coming this way and then they're going to come back. Watch Hack right here. He's in perfect position. Just shield him. He does nothing with it. If he shields him, he has nothing but green to run.
Or throw. It was man-for-man coverage for Hamilton. Instead, on 2nd down and 9, pounding up the middle is Akil Lynch. I said he grew up in Toronto. It's not where you expect to get a running back from, but he was a good football player that came across to suburban Buffalo and became the New York State Gatorade High School Player of the Year, playing a couple of years at St. Francis. The only points into the wind in the 3rd quarter scored by Illinois. Penn State, with the wind at their back, shut out in the 3rd quarter, and they have been shut out since their first drive of the game. We head to the 4th with Illinois looking for their 2nd Big Ten win by 3 over Penn State. A Big Ten kind of football day outside of Memorial Stadium here in Champaign. The Illini take a 3-point lead over Penn State into the fourth quarter. And the hardy few that have showed up to watch the Illini play today have seen their team give an excellent effort. It's been a physical football game and a big play for Penn State here. Now into the wind to start the fourth. 3rd down and 4. Hackenburg with a play action fake. Checks down underneath, and there is Jesse James, the tight end. 6'7", 255 pounds, and he moves the chains.
All right, so the call's good. So they're anticipating man coverage, which they get on the outside and inside. So they go play action to the inside. James blocks down, then gets out. That's a tough one to pick up from a coverage perspective because you're playing the run so hard.
Lynch. 3 yards. You start to think about how that committee is going to view Ohio State and the work they've done this year. Be very, very interesting. Hand off to Lynch. Bounces it left into the secondary. There goes Akeel Lynch. Makes another move in the open field. Akeel Lynch into the end zone for a Penn State touchdown.
Akeel Lynch, the ball carrier.
That was on Lynch and his vision. He started one way to the right, saw that it opened to the left, and then took advantage of it down the field. Watch, he's going to start inside here. It's designed to go right here. Okay, it shows up. Now watch him bounce to the left. And then this cut right here is the difference in the whole thing. James is able to take off the last defender, and he's in the end zone.
4th career 100-yard game for Akeel Lynch, and the 2nd in as many weeks. He had his first 100-yard game of this season last week with a $130 against Temple. Now he's up to 121 yards and a touchdown against Illinois. Here's how you score going into the wind. Give it to a running back that can take it to the house. You can see Dudek at the 23-yard line. Behind him at about the 10-yard line is Devin Church. The ball might not even get there. Well, this floats to the corner.
That was
out of bounds. So just trying to drive it low as best he could was Ficken, and as a result, kicked it out.
No, I don't mean drive it low. I mean on the ground.
Free
You
kick
get
out
it
of
on the
bounds.
ground and drive
The
it
ball
through
will
the
be
end zone if you
placed
can.
at the 35-yard line. First down.
If it goes all the way through. But if not, they pick it up at about the 10, and then you're fine. Instead, you get it out to the 35.
So now Illinois is down again. The Illini are 4-6 this season. Their only Big Ten win against Minnesota. They also beat Youngstown State, Western Kentucky, and Texas State. And all 3 of those wins, by the way, they trailed in the 4th quarter. They're down in the 4th quarter now to Penn State. Riley O'Toole, room to run, instead throws underneath to Malik Turner. And the freshman picks up 8 yards. So, Matt, I'm not sure what the bigger headline for Illinois is. The fact that they came back against Youngstown State, Western Kentucky, and Texas State, or the fact that they trailed in the 4th quarter against those teams.
Well, I know what the headline is going to be right now. It's O'Toole's feet is going to make a difference, and it did on that play.
Nice read by O'Toole. The late give to Donovan Young. And Young weaves his way to the 43-yard line of Penn State. Marcus Allen eventually brought him down, but that's 14 yards.
Up until that run, they only had 17 yards of rushing. And he gets just about all of that on one run.
Play action. Dudek takes a pop and another hit. Boy, he set himself up for the 2nd hit, but how about the ability of Mike Dudek at only 185 pounds to maintain his balance?
That last one hurt. Wortman came with a full head of steam. Watch number 5. He's going to come inside out. He takes that one on.
Ouch. O'Toole underneath. That's a first down catch just as the pressure was coming again. He finds Josh Ferguson, and now O'Toole gets up with a hobble.
The difference between these quarterbacks right now is O'Toole's finding an open guy. They're getting guys open. They're sitting in the zone, so there's going to be holes, but O'Toole's finding them in these holes.
You can see the crowd that's here finally has something to cheer about, but there are not many of them here. They're looking for a reason to get excited about the Illini. Down by 4, early 4th quarter. A straight handoff. And Donovan Young inside the 10, drags the tackler to the 8. You know, the worst thing, Matt, that can happen to a program is for their fan base to become apathetic. Even if they're here, if they're booing, at least they're here. This is what Tim Beckman needs. He needs his team to win an exciting game, just so the Illini fans have some reason to care about their program again. Donovan Young again. Breaks a tackle. Uses the stiff arm and eventually goes down. Marcus Allen. He was the third Nittany Lion to get there. It's a gain of 2.
Marcus Allen's played himself a very good game in the run game. Now, Dudek's had his way with him in the passing game, but let me tell you, that's a big kid who can run. And I want you to watch the angle that he takes. Watch him be inside out. As he has a sure tackle at the end of this thing. Full speed. That's well done. This is a big play right here on 3rd down. They've got to be able to handle Dudek, who will be in the slot to the top side.
The only Illinois 3rd down conversion was the touchdown in the first half.
It's like they're going man. There's a blitz. There's a cross.
O'Toole needs help. Wisely just throws it away.
Smart. Live for another down. Well done by O'Toole.
What will they do with that next down? It's 4th down and 4. It's a chip shot field goal, but that doesn't give you the lead.
Now you got to kick it here.
And they're going to kick it.
Yeah, you got to take the points.
So Penn State gets a stop defensively in the red zone, unless Illinois and Tim Beckman dial up a fake. David Reisner's 1 for 1. A sophomore walk-on that on the season is only 2 for 4. Kicked a 28-yarder into a swirling wind. This one downwind from only 25 yards away. He's got it. So it's a 1-point game. 8:43 to go. Reisner took over as the place kicker back prior to the Texas State game in week 3. He hasn't gotten many opportunities, but he's made 2 today, and we've got a 1-point game. A chilly, blustery Big Ten kind of football day. The students, at least those that have come, have had something to cheer about today, as Illinois is hanging in there with Penn State, down by only 1. 14-13 midway through the 4th quarter. I'm Bob Wischusen here with Matt Millen and Quinn Kesnick. And now Penn State going into the wind, about to get the football back, protecting a 1-point lead.
The Illinois defense has played exceptionally well here today.
Taylor Zaleski, and he will, with the wind at his back, send this one 10 yards deep out of the back of the end zone. 1st and 15. Akia Lynch for about 3 yards. Clayton Fagellum came up, took him on one-on-one. Lynch made Fagellum pay, but now it's 2nd down and 12.
And so the Illinois defense, they're committing people in the box. They're giving you numbers, and they're saying, okay, you're going to run it, we're going to take that, and we're going to see if you're going to throw it, because right now we believe that Hackenburg is off. And so it's going to be all on Hackenburg based off what they're showing up here with numbers. Now they got both safeties back. Now you'd want to run at it.
They do try and run at it. And Lynch drags a tackler out to about the 29-yard line. So now you bring up a big 3rd down and 6. And the other thing, Matt, that seems apparent from Penn State's standpoint, they don't believe in their pass protection. The number of times they've taken Hackenburg and rolled him out of the pocket just to keep him away from the pressure, to me that's something that's also surprising. You should be able to protect against this front 7.
Yeah, because they don't really have a pass rusher. They've been countering that by bringing pressure, bringing blitzes. But he has not stayed in the pocket. He's gotten out of the pocket. There's been a pocket to step up into.
Coverage or pressure here if you're Illinois?
I'm going to bring pressure because he hasn't reacted well to it.
They do. It's a draw play. And Lynch is brought down. They crossed their blitzers up front, and Penn State tried to counter with a draw, and Lynch was tackled by T.J. Neal.
Neal's played himself a solid game here again. You're going to see the cross right there. Neal actually just hesitates because he sees the handoff. He anticipates that it's going to be that draw, And he just waits. Instead of committing, he waits for Akeel Lynch to do what he's going to do, and then he finishes it off. Well played.
Combination of Mike Dudek and Darius Mosley back deep to receive the kick. Again, it's going into the wind. Ascarello does the best he can, the end-over-end kick. And that's a pretty good one. Back to the 30-yard line, the fair catch made by Mosley. 38-yard punt into the wind is about as well as we have seen any of the punters handle the wind today.
Wes Lund struggled at the start of this game, and so in comes Riley O'Toole, and he's provided the spark that this team's needed. How? With his feet. The eyes are always downfield. He knows where Dudek is at all times, but when he gets in trouble, he'll move a little bit, and then he'll find the underneath throw, and he's been very effective with that. You can see the difference, 8 completions to Dudek, but 13 out of 17, he's been the difference for this team.
Riley O'Toole on first down. Batted down at the line. So Illinois has their chance. 6 minutes and 10 seconds to go. It'll be 2nd down and 10. And this is an Illinois team that has only won 2 Big Ten games under Tim Beckman in going on 3 years. Bouncing off tackler's left and using the stiff arm beautifully again. All the way out to midfield goes Donovan Young.
That's very good balance by Donovan Young. This really should have had no chance. Zettel inside has him perfectly, but look at the stiff arm off a Hull, and then he's into the secondary, and that's a big play.
O'Toole over the middle. Broken tackle, shaking and baking is Josh Ferguson to the 30-yard line. That's a gain of 8.
All of a sudden, you've got a motivated Fighting Illini offense. The whole thing is brought to you by Riley O'Toole. He's been the match that's lit this fire.
Donovan Young brought down behind the line. Dion Barnes with a loss of 1, at least, if not 2. And quickly, let's check in with Quint.
Yeah, for the first time, Matt, you said it. They're playing with a spark. They're playing with some enthusiasm, some energy. I think they actually think they can win this ball game. It's within their grasp, which at some times earlier was hard to believe. But they're playing right now like a team that you thought would come out in the first quarter today. I love their attitude right now.
Yeah, and they also have some confidence. This is a big down right here.
3rd down and 4.
Tighten your coverage up, especially on Dudek, right down here in the slot.
They can't try a field goal, even with the wind at their back from this far back with their kickers. Riley O'Toole out of the pocket. Across his body, and it's dropped. Malik Turner, the true freshman, couldn't hold on. Now, if you go for it with 3.5 minutes to go, you give Penn State great field position.
Yeah,
Will you try and kick a field goal?
He's got to kick it. It's too far from here.
They're going to try a field goal.
That's a 50-yarder.
Quint, from 50 yards away, is this realistic for David Reisner?
Based on what he showed me in warm-ups, yes. Based on his track record this season, no.
He's got the wind at his back from 50 yards away to give Illinois the lead. He's made 2 already in this game. Reisner, it hooks left. It's no good.
He had enough leg on it, and he had a nice little bunch of air behind it because it picked up right then.
He had not made a kick longer than 19 yards this season before today. And with that kind of a track record, Tim Beckman dials up a 50-yard attempt, and it went the Penn State sideline way. Bob Wischusen, Matt Millen, Quinn Kesnick, and still warming up on the sideline is Reisner, hoping to get another chance. But now it's on the defense for Illinois to see if they can stop Christian Hackenburg, as they have done since the opening drive, and get the ball back to their offense one more time. Akeel Lynch met after a gain of 3 on first down by Fagellum.
Fagellum's played a pretty good game here again today. And they are the reason you're hearing his name so much is because he is coming down fast. They are getting their safeties into this run game as fast as they can. So you're hearing his name quite a bit. You're also hearing the names of like Taylor and those type of guys who are in the back there, Taylor Barton, and they've played a very good game. They're taking their time in the huddle, Penn State, as they should. But they need to pick up at least 2 first downs here, Bob.
1 first down, Illinois might still have a chance. 2 first downs, the game's all but over. Lynch. Well, here's the 3rd down chance, and Tim Beckman's going to spend a timeout right now before 3rd down and about 4. Do you think Illinois plays more coverage? You think they're worried about a play-action fake here, or do you think that if Hackenburg sees, as you've talked about, a light tackle box, he might check to a run on 3rd down?
I wouldn't run it here. Now, I'm expecting I'm going to get pressure because they've been doing that, and so use it against them. Start one way, go the other.
Play action.
There it is.
Hackenburg rolls. Can he run for it? Steps out of bounds. Just at the first down marker. Where do they spot him out? It looks like he's short by a half yard. They put the football down just shy of the line to make.
It's exactly what we were talking about. Hackenburg tries to get it. He got tackled by his own guy.
And how is it possible that they're not winding the clock?
Deshaun Hamilton.
That fast, they put the ball back ready for play. So if you figure you get off about a 40-yard punt here, if that's something that Pasquarello can manage, depending on the distance of the return, Illinois is going to have at least decent field position. Let's check in with Quint.
Yeah, with the wind, this punt is. But remember, early in this ball game, guys, D'Angelo Bentley injured his left knee. This is a new return man for Illinois, Darius Mosley, and this is a precarious punt return with some swirling winds.
And there's times that they've had a couple of returners back there. They've put Mike Dudek back as well. There's the rugby style end-over-end kick, and a fair catch called for and made at the 27-yard line. That's a 31-yard kick. Well, now the opportunity is there for Illinois, a program that has won as many games in the Big Ten in the last 3 years as Rutgers has won this year in their first year in the league. Maryland in their first year in the Big Ten this year, they've won 3 conference games. So that's how thirsty Illinois fans are for a conference win.
And Riley O'Toole has met the challenge here today, and the difference has been his feet, and he keeps his eyes downfield, takes what the defense gives him. And so for Penn State, these 4 guys up front, they've got to get pressure. They've got to be able to have coverage on Dudek, who's up here in the slot.
Four-man rush. O'Toole looking for the home run ball to Dudek, and he's got him at midfield. What a big play to start the drive over the middle for Illinois. A gain of 25.
So they're playing a zone, and in every zone there's going to be holes. And if you allow a receiver like Dudek to just run through your zone untouched, that's what happens.
Up to 114 yards for Dudek. O'Toole to the sideline, and that's complete to the 30-yard line. Marchie Murdoch makes the catch.
Murdoch again just finds the hole in the zone, on top of the flat defender and in front of the deep third.
Dudek's in the slot left. They can run it now, and they will with Ferguson. Josh Ferguson inside the 15-yard line, down to the 14. 1:12 to go. And now if you're Penn State, you might have to think about using your timeouts. You only have 2 left.
You better walk somebody out on this guy right here.
What is the rush for Illinois? Breaking tackles to the 10-yard line is Ferguson. I would think if I were Illinois now, Matt,
slow down.
Slow down and take as much time off the clock as you can.
As much time as you can.
And now Penn State will call a timeout. That's a smart move by James Franklin.
Penn State calls timeout. Their second.
Because now the clock is on Illinois' side, and yet they're still going, hurry up.
I can't say enough about Riley O'Toole today. Riley O'Toole came in, and it was a question mark, like, why are they going to him, especially now? And the difference was him. He brought something they did not have, and he gave him a spark, and he continued to do it. and he kept on finding the open receiver. Now, a lot of that is he's just taking what the Penn State defense is giving him. They're going to check to see if his knee is down here, which it is. So it'll be right there on that spot.
So that, on a replay review, if his knee is ruled to be down, and right there it certainly looks as if his knee is down. And if you give O'Toole looks outside the pocket and he starts to roll one way or the other, you start to bring where the ball is spotted for the field goal into play on what you call on third down. It's interesting how Bill Cubitt handles this, as they'll go with an I formation. Josh Ferguson is the I back. A straight handoff, and he's brought down. Now Franklin will call the final Penn State timeout. Penn State thought for a moment the ball popped out, but Ferguson is ruled down, and barely any time comes off the clock. You're looking probably at about a 36-yard field goal attempt to put Illinois on top. And because Penn State's out of timeouts, depending on how many seconds come off the clock on the run play for Illinois, and they can take the clock down well inside of 20 seconds before stopping it and having a chance to kick what would all but amount to a game winner. Penn State would really need a miracle then. Out of timeouts and under 20 seconds to go. Hand off to Young, right between the hash marks, and the clock starts to wind down. We wondered if David Reisner would get another opportunity, and here it is.
There'll be about 10 seconds left tops.
Quint Kesnick is down on the field, and Quint, unless the wind is swirling all day, it's basically been going to this end of the field at the back of the kicker. I'd have to think it's only going to help Reisner.
Yes, that's exactly right. One add-on, though. As you saw with his long kick, this ball will be pushed to the left. I was told before the game that all the wind in this stadium, when it goes right to left, ends up in this lower left tunnel. So if he puts this ball up into the air, it's going to be pushed towards the Illinois sideline left. He may want to play this kick slightly right to left. Bob, as a golfer, you know exactly what he's looking at.
I know what he's looking at. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, there's the win.
So here it is.
Well, Riley O'Toole on senior day, as a senior, played a phenomenal game.
36-yard attempt to give the Illini the lead. He's got it.
That's a huge kick for Reisner, and a big kick for this program, because they need that win. And you know, he did exactly what Quint was talking about. He knew he had to push it a little to the right with that wind, and this time it stayed straight, and he was able to tuck it inside that goal post.
In Tim Beckman's first year at Illinois, they didn't win a Big Ten game. They were 0-8. Last year, 1-7 in the league. Coming into today, 1-5.
Riley O'Toole, who was an afterthought, came in and provided exactly what this team needed. And then Dudek was the guy you knew was going to make plays, and he made them all game long.
A few yards deep in the end zone, taking a knee, is Grant Haley. So no time comes off the clock. Unless Penn State can get to the sideline quickly, they probably only have one snap left.
You got one throw, that's it. That Dudek kid, that's a good player. He's got 3 more years. You're going to hear a lot of his name break a lot of records here at Illinois. I don't know if you can get any deeper than where Illinois' secondary is right now. That's not their secondary. It's back further.
Hackenburg throws one over the middle, and there's the relay. A little pitch and catch, hook and ladder. Throwing it across the field is Akeel Lynch. Deshaun Hamilton is blown up, and that ends the game. When you haven't won much, you react the way that the Illinois Fighting Illini are enjoying their second Big Ten win of the season. In come-from-behind fashion, they beat Penn State 16-14. Up next, it's our college football scoreboard presented by Honda. So long from Champaign, Adnan Berg in our ESPN studios. Adnan.